India rejects. Russian oil suppliers demand for payment in Chinese yuan amid diplomatic tensions. India has firmly rejected Russian oil suppliers' demands for payment in Chinese yuan for crude oil imports. The tension arises as the relationship between New Delhi and Beijing remains strained. Some Russian oil suppliers have insisted on receiving payments in yuan, causing friction in the negotiations. However, the Indian government, under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has refused to comply with these requests. 70% of India's refiners are government-owned entities, meaning they must adhere to payment instructions issued by the Ministry of Finance. While Indian Oil Corp, one of the largest state refiners, has made yuan payments for Russian crude in the past, the government has since imposed restrictions on such transactions. Private refiners may still have the flexibility to settle payments in yuan, although no official figures or industry data are available to quantify the extent of these transactions. One of the factors underlying this dispute is the oversupply of rupees by Russia, which they struggle to utilize effectively. At the same time, there has been a substantial increase in demand for yuan in Russia as the nation becomes more reliant on China for imports. In fact, the Chinese currency has gained prominence in Russia, overtaking the US dollar as the most traded currency in the country this year. As it currently stands, Indian refiners primarily pay for Russian oil imports in the currency of the United Arab Emirates, known as dirhams, along with US dollars. In certain situations, a small amount of rupees may also be utilized, particularly when oil prices surpass the 60 per barrel cap imposed by the US and its allies on Russian oil. While yuan has been used for minor transactions, Russian oil suppliers are now pushing for it to become the primary unit of transaction for oil trade, which India has firmly resisted. An executive from an Indian oil refiner told Bloomberg that payment for about 4 to 5 cargoes had recently been delayed because the parties involved failed to agree on the currency of exchange. Russia is now the top crude supplier to India, making up almost half of the South Asian nation's purchases. Russia-India's rejection of the demand for payment in Chinese yuan amidst diplomatic tensions showcases the complexities of international trade and the impact of geopolitical relationships on economic decisions.